about money. I say to you, it's time for you to undevelop, personally undevelop these old stories. We're fighting this war for our brain. You don't need more software. You got to work on your hardware. Your hardware is you telling yourself some better stories. You're the most amazing creation on the planet. You are ready to regain your mental profit. We're fighting this war for our brain. We're fighting this war for our brain. Start with this. Start with saying, I'm enough. You just rewired your brain. In this moment, I choose joy. You just rewired your brain. In this moment, I am filled with gratitude. You just rewired your brain. So I ask you, is today the day you've had enough? Is today the day you say, I am more than my own story. I am my own creation. I choose more. I choose greatness. I choose greatness. You just rewired your brain. You need to stop shaking your brain that keeps you from your amazingness. And that shaking in your brain is called self-talk. The brain looks for two things. Will it kill me, the saber-toothed tiger? Or how fast can I recognize the pattern? You're about to break the patterns that you once knew. And that's scary. And Jim Rohn's favorite word, until you do it long enough. Here's what I know. It's time for you to dream again. Let's start dreaming. We're fighting this war for our brain. Here's what I know. It's time for you to dream again. Let's start dreaming. Because you are perfect. You are possibility and creativity right now in this moment. You're the most amazing creation on the planet. You are ready to regain your mental profit. We're fighting this war for our brain. Your thoughts create your income. Here's what I know. It's time for you to dream again. Let's start dreaming. Let's start dreaming. We're fighting this war for our brain. Let's start dreaming.
All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody here this morning. We're getting started. Hope everybody's doing well on February 4th. I think it's February 4th. Well, let's get over here and start the live. There we go. Live on Instagram and YouTube. All right. Hey, what if you don't have too many goals? What if you have too many selves? Wait, what? What are you trying to say? My conversation with you today is not about you have too many goals. It's just that you might have too many selves. Too many things you're trying to do, too many versions of you you're trying to get in alignment with. Right? So that's going to be the conversation today. So buckle in, buckle up. You're not stuck. You're not lazy. You're probably not even burned out. The question is, maybe you're just trying to be too many people at once. Listen, it's an identity crisis. I get it. I talk to a lot of moms. I talk to a lot of business owners, and they're trying to be dads or moms and business owner and negotiator. It's your nervous system quietly saying, pick one. This is where Napoleon Hill's DMP really kicks in, really starts to make sense to people. What Bob Proctor talks about in vibration, what Wayne Dyer said, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. What Wallace D. Waddell said, it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. And that certain way is pick the one that's most important. One of my dear friends and mentors, Kyle Wilson, says, find the domino that knocks down all the other dominoes. Too many of us have all of this stuff going all over the place, and we've diluted our energy. We've diluted our focus. Today's session is going to challenge something almost sacred in personal development. Almost sacred in personal development. And the thing it's going to challenge is that you can actually do more by becoming less. Let me put a little charger here on this one. There we go. The thing everybody worships, we're going to challenge. What are things everybody worships in personal development? Don't they worship the vision board, right? The 5-year plan. There's new software out there to help you optimize your day. Their Excel spreadsheets, their habit stackers, all of it. Nobody really wants to talk about the hidden physical cost of goals. What's the hidden physical cost of goals that you have, right? It's not effort. It's not time. It's identity pressure. Soon as you set a goal, you trigger inside of you, depending upon how often you've achieved your goals in the past, you start to trigger shame. Do I really deserve this? Right? Every goal has this invisible sentence. And that sentence is, listen carefully, who I am right now is not enough. Feel that. You setting a goal. And a part of you knows this. A part of you understands this. A part of you says, well, yeah, that's exactly how it's supposed to happen. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. When I understand that if I set a new goal, I'm going to change. Yet we'd never make it through that process. We seem to skip over that process. So now, one goal that's motivating, 10 goals is inspiring, 30 goals, it's psychological debt. And most people are walking around carrying identity debt they don't even realize they signed up for. Who are you? Yeah, has anybody ever asked you, who are you? When you're doing these things and having these conversations, well, who are you? Let me explain. Every time you say, I'm going to get in shape, you created a gap. Right? In my series on mastering the gap, you created this gap. This gap says, I'm not fit enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not healthy enough. So between me and my ideal weight is this gap. And this current self is who you are. And where the gap exists is between you and this new ideal self. There's a gap. I'm going to double my income. Gap. I'm going to wake up earlier. You created a gap. I'm going to be more disciplined. You created a gap. Now here's the challenge. Here's the problem. Your brain doesn't experience those gaps as inspiration. What does the brain look for? Brain looks for two things. Will this kill me? Or how fast can I recognize the pattern? If you're opening up and going from your current self to your ideal self, I'm at this current income and I want more income. The more income is the ideal self. What does your brain think that is if it can't recognize the pattern? It treats it as a threat. It means because biologically the gap says to you, says to your body, says to your framework, I'm not adequate enough. I'm not good enough. And chronically, it's a chronic signal of inadequacy. It triggers your I'm not good enough. And if you do this often, over, if you set goals all the time and never achieve them, if you set goals and never go after them, if you set goals and write them down and never really take action on them, that creates a stress chemistry in your body known as cortisol. That's low-grade anxiety. It's a constant background tension. Not because you're weak, it's because your brain is wired for safety, not self-optimization. Here's the wild part. Here's the wild part. High performers, probably like you, suffer the most because they don't just have goals, they have identities they're chasing. They're trying to be productive, they're trying to be fit. These are the identities, trying to be wealthy, trying to be mindful, trying to be present, trying to be creative on my social media, trying to be stoic, disciplined, reserved, trying to be kind, wanting to be focused. All of these are goals and targets high performers seek, all simultaneously. That's not growth, that's fragmentation, ladies and gentlemen. You're not building a life, you're managing 10 characters. You now become the director, and you're not even in your own play. Have you ever wondered why you're tired before the day even starts? You haven't even worked yet. You're just carrying the expectation weight. Let me give you a reframe. Let me offer you some change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Imagine walking around wearing 10 backpacks. We raised Mason, single, one child at a time, raised Mason. I know there's parents that have 2 kids. There's parents with triplets. They got to carry 3 things around. Their buggy is a small bus, the little baby carriage. It's a small bus for all 3 of them. What if you started realizing how many backpacks you're carrying around for all the personalities, for all of the identities? Each backpack labeled better body. That's one backpack. Don't you have to have a certain frequency and mindset and think about things in your mind when you talk about better body? I got to work out. I got to eat better. I got to eat healthier. I got to drink more water. I got to do more alkaline stuff. I got to do more alkaline food. How about then the next backpack comes along and it's more money. I got to think better at my job. I got to create more content. I have to do more things in social media. I've got to raise my prices, right? Better partner. I've got to be more in touch with my significant other. I have to spend more time thinking about them. I've got to do more things nice for them. How about better mindset? That's another backpack. And each of these backpacks is a whole plethora of content and connectivity and community and ideas that you create. How about creating more content? How about more learning? How about more discipline? All of these are backpacks filled with skills and talents. Because you've fragmented them, you've created these individual identities. It's all you. It's all you. All of this, more content, more learning, more discipline, better relationships, all of that's already inside of you. Somehow society has told you, you got to work on these individually. You got to work on these individually, because if you don't look at how do I become a better partner? How do I become more content creator on social media? How do I create better money? How do I have better health? We figured out that there's a market out there. There's a way out there that we can sell you these products individually rather than helping you create yourself as a whole. I'm going to give you 10 questions here in just a second on how to work on building you to have more of who you are. Carl Jung warned about this. He called it inflation. The ego trying to become too much, too ideal, too perfect. And the psyche eventually revolts. Not with drama, not with empathy. The revolution of your psyche is procrastination. So you think you're lazy. You start to become numb to things. Is that really you? Do you ever feel overloaded? Apathy is often self-protection. The Stoics said it simpler. They said, Epictetus said, for those of you with desire, put it on a shelf. Now, this is Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoics of the time. He said, for those of you with desire, put it on a shelf. Until such time, you determine what's within your circle of influence, the only things you can influence and have influence over in that circle, and then determine where that boundary is, and look at everything that's outside of that circle and realize you have no influence over it. And once you determine, once you decide, once you come to grips with the fact that you know you have no influence over that outside your circle, go back and pick up your desire, because you will never have another bad day again, period. The Stoics said real simply, focused on what's within your control today. Today, not the 10 identities ahead, not tomorrow, not the future self, not this future self that's infinite. Focus on today. Focus in the hour. Focus in the moment right now. So instead of giving yourself 10 new goals today, all of your to-do lists, today I'm going to give you 10 questions. Questions to remove some of that pressure, not add to it. So here's the first question. Question number 1. How many versions of myself am I trying to become right now? Count them. Be honest. Am I trying to be a good mom? Am I trying to be a good partner? Am I trying to be a good dad? Am I trying to be a good sister, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin? Am I trying to be the one who puts the birthday party together? Am I trying to be the planner? Am I trying to be the taxi to the after sports games? Am I trying to be the camera person, the best camera person? I know this because I went through these when Mason was doing lacrosse. I filmed all of the team's games, so I was only focused on being the camera guy. I get it, you're supposed to do that, but sometimes it created some arguments between Michelle and I because I was a camera guy and I took it more serious than probably the people that were going to watch the films. I'd given myself an identity that I had said was important. It really wasn't. It was nice. It was a nice title. It wasn't an important title. So I'm asking you, it's probably going to be a little absurd when you start to think of all of the things you've labeled yourself as having to do. So that's question 1. How many identities are you producing, performing today? Here's number 2. If you could only improve in one area this year, the big picture, what would truly matter most? Yeah, these are big pictures. Just one thing, not 5 things. Your brain has evolved for focus. You give it one task, it will do amazing things. It's not designed for parallel self-construction, that you become this. This is where multitasking comes in. I got to be this person, then I got to be this person, and you think you can be all of them at once. You can only play one character in your play called life at a time. And then we're told, go find balance. Well, how am I supposed to be in balance if I'm one of 10 people at any given time? Right? So we get into that in other conversations. Here's question number 3. Which goal excites me? Which one just makes me feel behind? Which one makes me feel like I'm behind? You wake up and you're already behind. What's that goal? Could you just say, okay, that goal isn't even going to be on my radar just for today, right? Behind is not motivation. Feeling behind, feeling lack, feeling catching up is shame. And shame never sustains action. Let me say that again. Shame never sustains your motivation. Shame never sustains your ability to take positive, forward-moving action. It's the root cause of procrastination. Question number 4, did I choose this goal or absorb it from culture? Who are you right now? And who you are right now, was this of your choosing or was this of somebody else's design? Right? If you look at certain cultures and you see the kids raised as you can, if you mentioned a culture, a background, where are you from? I'm from Ireland, right? Years ago in New York, Most of the cops were Irish, right? So you have these things that are related to certain cultures. If you think of their families are raised and they're either doctors or lawyers, the kids turn out as doctors or lawyers, you can probably pick a culture that that's typical of, right? So did you choose this current goal you have, or is this a cultural thing? There's a huge difference. Goals that you choose energize. Inherited goals drain you. There's a lot of people, I saw a statistic one time, 30% of college graduates picked the degree because that was their parents' desire. And they never work in that field. Goals you choose energize you. Inherited goals drain. Here's question 5. If nobody saw the results, would I still want this? It's not. If not, it's a performance. If nobody saw what you're doing, would you want these goals? Would you want these results? And if the answer is no, then you're in performance. You're not in purpose. Question 6. What goal am I keeping purely to look impressive? Oh, snap. What goal are you just currently? Listen, I come out of this powerful field of, you can determine the size of your net worth by the size of your network industry. And there's a lot of people who keep maintaining a desire to say they're going to become X rank in their business because they want other people to like them. They want other people to hang around them. They want to look impressive. Drop it. If you drop it, you'll have instant energy. You'll be amazed at how all of a sudden the shift changes and you're allowed to refocus on things that are truly important to you. Question 7, what would happen if I allowed myself to be average at something? This one terrifies high achievers. Yet this is where freedom lives. Not excellence everywhere. Excellence in one thing. Right? Too many people, when they do a self-analysis, they'll do a study report, they'll do a Briggs-Myers, they'll do a Colby report. A Colby report is a pretty amazing report. If you've not taken one, it's about $50 to take it. What you'll find is that too many people want to get better at the things they're average at, and they refuse or they ignore getting excellent at the thing they're good at. Question 8. What am I postponing joy for? This is a big one. Because too many goals quietly say, I'll be happy when. Anybody ever hear that? I'll be happy when. If you've been around my pages for a while, you'll know that I speak of Shawn Achor, who's the happy guy, right? Went to Harvard and they did studies, and what they found in this Harvard study that he graduated from and went back and they actually did a research paper on it and a study on it. A lot of people say, I'll be happy when I get to 10,000 a month. What they found is that only like 2 or 3% of the people became happy when that happened. Happiness was the requirement for the money to come in. So this was done through psychology and psychological studies. What we know, for those of us in the feel-good industry, right, the mindset industry, is that in order for you to have anything, you have to be it before you can see it, right? Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, if you can see it, visualization, believe it, right? Burning desire turned into faith, you can achieve it. What's the one burning desire? This one sentence that says, I'll be happy when is the sentence responsible creating for the most suffering in people's lives? Aren't you happy now? Aren't you better now than you were before? If you're a little more mature like I am, you've probably didn't grow up with a cell phone. So now you have all of this technology at your fingertips. When are you going to be happy? If you say, I'll be happy when, that sentence is a sentence of suffering. Something to think about. Here's question 9. What would enough progress look like? Not perfection, enough. Define enough or you never arrive. Because every time you hit this mountain peak, you can now see other mountains. And you're like, oh, I got to get to that one. Oh, I got to get to this one. And we never fill our evidence file up. We never create the evidence file that says, I did it. I've achieved. I succeeded. I've won. Listen, I graduated first grade. I graduated second grade. I graduated third grade. Be like, that's not important. Listen, every fourth grader is a hero to every third grader. You're currently a hero to the person you just were. Kyle Wilson says, the best person you could help is the person you just were. The status of life that you just left, the challenge you just went through is the best version of humanity you can help. And all too often, we're so chasing and forward-looking and identity-driven that, well, yeah, I was that. Now I need to be this. And we forget to add to our evidence file. Here's question number 10. Here's question number 10. What can I subtract this month? Not add, right? If you hear my phrase, the kind of the tagline I'm known for is the personal undevelopment guy. You don't need more. You'll have more. You don't need more right now. When you start to focus on the one thing, the main thing, what did Covey say? Keep the main thing the main thing. You'll be amazed at what happens when you keep the main thing the main thing, because growth isn't always accumulation. Sometimes it's elimination. Michelangelo didn't add David. He removed what wasn't David, right? So, let me fix my chair here. Today's uncomfortable truth. You don't need more drive. You don't need a better system. You probably need fewer selves, fewer identities to manage of yourself, fewer expectations, fewer identities, less psychological noise. Yet society has wired us for that. Who am I on TikTok? Who am I on Instagram? Who am I on Facebook? Who am I on LinkedIn? Right? Here's what I know. Clarity creates energy. What can you do to create a little bit more clarity for you today? Just for you. And energy feels like awesomeness. Not hustle, not grind, not pressure. Clarity is a lightness. So today, don't set a new goal, drop one. And feel what happens. Feel what happens. Drop one goal today. Just take it off your list. See how that feels. So YouTube and Instagram, I love you tons. I appreciate you. We will see you. We'll be back here tomorrow for more 10 questions that could listen. And you could maybe you only need to pick one of them. You don't have to go answer all 10 of them. Pick the one that zinged you, that gave you a little nudge in your shoulder, felt a little heat in your gut. Work on that one. Check out yesterday's video as well. You'll be surprised at what happens when you hear the one question. I offer you a buffet of having more of what you want and less of what you don't in this lifetime. I'm your head brain trainer, brain scrambler, Sean G. Murphy. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Thanks, Instagram. Bye for now. And YouTube, love you tons. Have an amazing day. You are spectacular in all that you do. We'll see you where? At the next event. And I think we're out there. Hey, Misfits, good morning. How can I be of best service to you? Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Sean. How are you feeling this morning?
Good morning, Silka.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah.
Oh, because you didn't answer my question. That's why I'm asking you.
Now I can.
Okay. So, are you going to answer my question?
I am
Maybe
not
you're not
hearing your
hearing me.
amazing energy. I don't know if everybody else can or can. Share the
Can you not hear me?
Now I hear you. Yep, perfect.
What's going on? Why can't you hear me this morning? Oh my God, how are
It
you
seems to be cutting
feeling?
in and out. Is it me or is it on her
It's
end? Is it my end? Somebody
It's your
type in the
end, Sean.
chat. Do you hear her cutting in and out, or is it me?
can you guys hear me? It seems fine over here.
I hear you.
Okay. Diane says she hears you fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it must be an
no,
issue
go
with
ahead. It's
you.
yeah, it is my for some reason my mute button. I just looked down and I saw that it was muted. Go ahead.
Oh, well, that would be a problem. Okay. So, how you were mentioning this morning. Are you hearing me now?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, how are you doing this morning?
Outstanding.
All right, now you could finally answer. Yes. I need that excitement in the morning in your voice. Anyway, you were mentioning that people's shame causes them to procrastinate.
Hmm.
How is that? I mean, how
Well,
could they change that?
so and the key is that when they set up their goal and they have this frequency of their, this is why I asked the question. I figure out where their shame's coming from when I ask them, so who might be jealous?
Yeah, when you
When
ask that, it's weird. I mean, I don't
because
ever
I want
think
to know
of
who,
anything I do that people would be jealous of. I would think that if it's positive, that they would be happy for me, and if it's negative, they would just think, well, she's
well, let me
just
ask
an
you
idiot.
this.
But
Have you ever heard kids in school when somebody showed up with a new backpack, they had to go, oh, they came home and go, oh my God, Sally had a new backpack. I need a new backpack. I don't, right?
yeah, yes, of course.
That's
Yes,
shame.
that's shame.
That's 100% shame. I feel like I feel like I don't have enough. She got a new backpack. I don't. I'm nothing. I don't matter.
Are you serious? Isn't that taking it a little far? I mean,
No, absolutely not. Taking it a little far is that she thinks that a backpack is going to make her a better person. That's taking it too far. So if that's how far it goes, like, I I need to get new shoes. Everybody else has those shoes. I don't have them. I'm going to be such a loser. How do shoes make you, because you don't fit in? Anytime we shift our identities, anytime we go for a goal, anytime we have an advance, anytime we get a new title, people are jealous.
but isn't that just more in materialistic countries than anywhere else?
It's human nature, period.
I
Tommy,
mean, many people probably worry more about putting food on their table than new shoes in third world countries. So they would be happy to have some food. They
here's the
wouldn't
thing.
really care if somebody else had some new shoes, do you think? Or I mean,
Alan's family grows corn. We grow wheat. We're just stupid wheat farmers.
why? I mean, I don't.
It's because the brain is designed to do two things. Will this kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? If the pattern doesn't exist, the threat of survival exists. The brain is wired to survive. Period. End of story. 300,000, half a million year old brain wired to survive, has not changed one iota. One electron, proton, neutron, crouton has not shifted. The brain is wired to survive. And even more in today's society of technology and social media, we are wired to survive. And so the second that something shifts and it makes us realize we are fighting for our life, I don't have enough followers, nobody signs up in my business, that puts the brain in survival mode and fight mode, and we shut off our prefrontal cortex. So we're jealous. We find a way to minimize their success by putting them down so that we can build ourselves up. Companies do it. Network marketing companies do it. Our comp plan is better than their comp plan.
Yeah, I mean, people always say this kind of stuff, but I
Right.
mean,
So
and then
that is
some,
shame.
and
That
I
is shame
think,
driven.
but I mean, that certainly is true. There's a huge difference in compensation plans when you really look at it. I mean, some of them only allow you to make 20,000, but to say 20,000 a month, right? Where
Right.
others allow you to make 1 million a month. Let's
Yeah.
look at that. So yes, there's a huge difference in
Yeah, not really
compensation
though,
plans.
because not
But
everybody's making 20 grand a month, so it doesn't really matter if you can make 1 million if nobody's even making 20. So it's just
well,
an
no, and
illusion.
that is true. I mean, um, yes, it all depends what people do want to make and what they're looking for. I mean,
Right.
it's the same with the shoes you were just mentioning, the new shoes, for instance.
Yep. And so
You
that's what
know,
triggers shame.
I love high heels, where I don't see that you would go to the store anytime to buy high heels for yourself.
No,
But I mean, you may. I don't. I don't
not
know.
really.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe those cowboy boots. I don't. I didn't really see many people wear them in Arkansas. They do wear them in Nashville.
Right.
I bought a pair. Then I have to take it out for Dallas. I don't
So
even know
when you're having a
where they are.
presentation with somebody and you say to them, because travel is such a visual, such an emotional, such a whole body experience. Travel is getting well
Yes.
isn't a whole body experience. It helps the whole body. It's not a mentally visual image that somebody would portray about getting well as a whole body experience. Travel is a whole body experience, getting suntan, getting sunburned, go sitting in the sand, getting right. So travel is even a more shame producing conversation that people have to protect their lack of travel more than their desire for travel.
Oh my God. I mean, you just put me back in minus 10, maybe.
Well, but the key is that because it's so emotional, you can have emotional conversations. It's why nobody cares about a comp plan in a travel company. If travel is the key, if comp plan is the key, it doesn't matter what the product is. Doesn't matter whether it's a travel plan, whether it's got nutritions or potions and lotions, whether it's an online store or not. If travel is the dialogue, would you like to travel more? Then it has to be about the travel experience. The reason people won't travel more is because they're too afraid of their new story. Has nothing to do with the expense. People travel across the country all the time for a loved one who's passing away. I have to go to, and they'll pay exorbitant fees. It doesn't matter. Travel is associated with, it's one of those things, I don't have time to do it, but if I have to do it, I can do it, and I'll probably pay too much. So why not set up a plan to where that's not the case? Why travel is the understanding that the benefits of a travel membership is that travel no longer has to be an emergency based situation. I have to take a vacation. I have to go see my mom and dad. What if you could get to go see them and you're like, you know what? I saw them 4 weekends this year. I saw them every quarter this year. I've never done that before. What would it mean to see your parents, to go see your grandkids 3 times this year? I don't know. It's more emotional. So you have to look at what is the identity that somebody becomes when they use your product?
They become a different person, but what do they? I mean, it's like what do they want to become, I think.
Exactly, but that's not in your marketing plan conversation.
Should it be?
You just said that's the biggest thing is when they use our products, who do they become? Because the people who want to become what our products offer see our product as a no-brainer. Oh my God, I don't know why everybody's not doing this. Those people see everything about the product, see everything about the identity. It's a no-brainer. It's absolutely a no-brainer. The reason it's a brainer is because you are fighting the brain of their old identity. Any one of your products, whether it's wellness, whether it's travel, whether it's supplements, whether it's financial, every one of your products has to work better than the average bears. Has to. By default, in order to look at the margins that you have and the compensation you have, it has to perform better. So if it's a no-brainer that it's going to be a good thing, then why isn't it a good thing? Because the brain that you're asking them to become, the no-brainer, the easy thing, this is ridiculous. Everybody should be using this, is because you're fighting the brain of who they are. And they are afraid to become this no-brainer, this, oh my God, this makes perfect sense. Because if they do, then their current identity had to say, I was an idiot for not doing this. And that's where shame kicks in.
So how would you approach that differently then?
The decision they have to buy it. Right? People hate to be sold. They love to buy.
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
So what are they buying?
They're buying the experience.
Excellent. How much would they pay for that experience?
Well, it depends on each person, I would think.
And that's what that'd be the conversation I'd be having. Imagine you used our program. Imagine you took advantage of our everything we have to offer. What's your new story? What's your new travel story? What's your new wellness story? You used all of our products, used all of our Manotech, our nanotechnology, our everything like this, and you became the healthiest person in your family. What's your new story? Do you leave the whole rest of your family unhealthy? Do you wind up creating this thing of healthiness inside of your family and everybody is absolutely bulletproof? Right? Do you create this travel family that becomes these people with lots of stamps in your passport? I don't think they stamp passports anymore, but if they did.
Well, some places still do. Yeah,
okay.
So
what's that new identity? Do I have my I have this is my newest passport. I don't have that many stamps in it.
Some countries don't even look at your passport anymore.
What is it worth to have this Republic de Costa Rica? How much was it worth to have that one? What's this one? This one's Colombia, Costa Rica, Colombia, Costa Rica. So how much is it? What would it be worth? What would you pay to have stamps in your passport like that? My other one had 37 countries in it.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I should do that. I mean, I get my passport out. I have a lot of stamps in them. So that would make a great story. That would make a great reel.
Well, the point is that most people who have a passport have it locked away somewhere.
Yes, and most people that don't even have a passport. I have some people I've been talking to, they've been telling me for months that they must get a passport, but they still haven't even taken the action of getting a passport.
Exactly. So
is that shame too?
So again, I'm not telling you to carry it. If I was in a travel business, I would open it up with going, what does this mean? What does this give you? What does this say about you, the human? Well, first of all, I don't know if it's still today. A decade ago, this was one of the most powerful passports on the planet, might still be today. But let's just say it's not. Let's just say it's as good as everything that's out there. What does this allow me to do? It allows me to get on a plane and leave these borders, to go arrive in another country, to experience another culture. Most people don't have a passport to leave their town. What
Yeah,
I do is
you
I offer
know,
people a chance to get a passport to go wherever they want in the world. And that's what's neat about our company. It could allow you to go any place you want in the world financially, travel wise, allows you to have the memories that you'd always want. So, what I do is I help people find the passport to their success. And then we figure out how best to use that passport to help improve their life.
wow, I will. You just gave me like a huge gold nugget idea. Why don't I think of those things? I'm still like flabbergasted after spending a year with you and your brilliant mind. It's almost like uh, it's like every day you come up with something mind-blowingly new, and I'm wondering
Well,
why the
because
hell
this
am
is
I not thinking of these things? I have a passport. It's right next to my it's in my drawer right next to me. I mean,
yep.
I don't have it locked away. Maybe I should. But no, I mean, that's such a basic, simple way to promote your travel to have people look at that.
I mean, I look for, yes, I'm all about the emotion. I'm all about the story. I'm also a business person. I'm not here to make you feel good for me to stay broke. I'm about getting rich. And rich is the transference of enthusiasm. And rich is having more of what I want and less of what I don't. And in order for me to do that, my goal that I've said is that if I'm going to have more of what I want, you better damn well sure have more of what you want. Because if you don't, then I'm not the person that you're getting any value from. So if I want more, my goal is to, how do you have more? And if it's always a story, this is a story. What do? I teach people how to fill these up.
Yes. Wow. I have to become better at that.
Yep.
Yes. But on the other hand, okay, so if you speak to somebody that doesn't have a passport, will it repel them? Will they feel shame?
Absolutely. Until.
So how would you what would you do about that?
So if I say, hey, listen, I work with people who have passports and I'm going to show you how to fill this up and have a dream life and make millions of dollars. That's the equivalent of me saying, I'm going to go pick up 10 people to go help improve their lives. But I'm going to drive my car at 85 miles an hour with the door open. And if they can jump in, they can get in. Driving by them at 80 miles an hour, there's no way in hell they're ever going to get in. That's what most presentations are.
Yes, and I think most presentations are not touchy-feely. And maybe with some products that makes sense. I mean,
Well,
maybe with crypto it doesn't need to be touchy-feely, but I think with travel it needs to be.
they all need to be touchy feely. Otherwise, you have an exit rate of 90% of your distributors. Which, if it's not touchy feely, if it's all facts, nobody has a story about facts. Facts tell, stories sell, and that's why you can put 50 people in your business a month and 48 will get out next month. It's always got to be touchy feely. I don't care what the product is. I got to have a story. If I have just the facts, I can make $1 million. That's not enough for anybody to stay in anything. Because what's the first thing that somebody, if they want to fill this up and they sign up, the first thing they got to go do is talk to other people who either have or don't have passports. Could you imagine if somebody asked in a travel company, oh, so you're in a travel company. So how many places has this company taken you? How many places have you traveled to? I don't even have a passport yet. So they're done. They're out of the business.
Well, no, they can still. I mean, look.
I'm
Okay, there is the bright side. United States is very, very large. There's very many places to go. So if you don't
I
have
realize
passport,
that. My
you
point
can
is
still
that,
do that. I know your point, but
yeah.
I mean, because you would lose quite a few people if
Mhm.
you approach it that way.
Yeah.
Because especially in US, there's still, I'm not sure. I think, the percentage has gone up a tad since COVID for some odd reason that people got more passports, but there's still a very large lack of passport owners in this country.
Yeah, statistically, it's probably not changed much. Less than 5% have passports.
What? That's even worse than I thought. I
Yeah.
thought it gone up now.
They may have it less than 5%. The statistic I knew for the longest time, and it was over a couple of decades, less than 5% have ever traveled outside of the United States. Because they got no reason to. They don't know anybody, right? So, anyways, so the whole point is having this conversation that's going to trigger shame. How do you untrigger shame?
Right, yeah, or how
Because
do
you know
not
that you're
trigger
going
in the
into
first
it.
place?
You
I'm
know
sorry,
that you're
didn't
going
hear.
into it. You need to have the conversation so that you can window shop shame. Don't let them buy it. Soon as they buy it, you're done. The presentation's over. You're done. You're going to get all of the objections. Don't have time. Don't have money. Send me more information. When you get all of that, it's because you triggered shame.
Holy shit. I definitely have to work on that. I'm not here to trigger shame in anybody. That's horrific when I think about it. Oh my God.
So this is why when somebody says, I don't have money, I ask, money for what? Well, money to do your thing. What thing is that? Well, to join your company. Jesus, why would you ever want to join the company? Well, to create an income. Income for what? We'll take care of my family. When would you like to start taking care of your family?
Oh. Do you think that will prevent them from saying they don't have money? I mean, when you just say, when do you want to start taking care of your family? Are they still going to say, oh, I don't have the money?
What do you need money for? I go back to the same thing. So if I say up, you say down. I say in, you say out. I say hot, you say cold. I say get started, you go, I don't have money. I get started, I don't have any money. I'm going to break that pattern. What do you need money for? Well, just start your business. Why would you want to start the business? To take care of my family. How important is it to take care of your family? Wildly important. Then what you're telling me, and this is where shame shows up again, what you're telling me is that you currently aren't taking care of them as well as you'd like to. Correct. Have you had anybody in the last 24 hours commit to helping you take care of your family so that you could have more of what you want and less of what you don't? No. Am I the only one that showed up in the last 24 hours or 48 hours or last week? Well, kind of, yeah. So is it okay if we get started?
Wow. I mean, yes, it's always so mind-blowing how simple you make it. And like the rest of Christina is smiling. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. You just always make my day. Thank you. I
You're
love
welcome.
you.
Love you too. Hey, Christina.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have no clue what you spoke about this morning because I was getting out of the house, but it was
That makes two of us.
but it was a fascinating conversation while I'm going to my travel business, my day job. I really love what you said about the idea that you gave to Silke for Passport to Success. That really can be used in any business. I love that. I love that. And I really love again what you said. It's just synced with what I heard recently about followers. I have to get to that point where I don't care about followers and I don't care about my Facebook earnings going from $8 to 50 cents, whatever. But it's hard. It's hard not to let that influence how you post and coming from on authority kind of a position, but I definitely have to take away what you just told Silke and just go and apply it to the especially the one for Passport to Success. That's a brilliant one.
And so what happens is here's the thing. The reason that you liked it, you and Silke are passport fanatics. You've traveled internationally. You have family back in different countries. So it's not uncommon for you. It's like, of course I traveled to Romania or Germany or this, that, or the other. Most people who even have their passport, there's people who have gotten their passport and it's expired on them already, and they never went anywhere with it.
Yeah.
So the reason that this makes sense is two reasons. One, everyone knows, it doesn't matter what country you're in, everyone knows a passport is travel outside of where you're at. So that's number one. It is a given staple for a conversation. The reason I say that is because what you just referred to was, oh, I like that. It was novelty. If I can get each of you to understand and grasp the power of novelty, of new, of something different they've never heard before, your businesses will explode. This idea of novelty, using this for success in anywhere. So, hey, we're going to open up your passports to success. What is your recruiting passport stamp? Where's the first stamp you'd get? Right? What's the first? I sponsored one person. Give me your passport. Right? And you stamp it. I mean, you can come up with 1,001 things. What I would offer the Silke, you can throw it out to the company, is why don't we have on our page when we enroll somebody, when we we give ranked titles, but where's our passport that we would get to show people, look at, here's what I did. I sponsored my first person. Here's what I did. I sponsored my second person. I got a stamp there. Could you imagine what people would want to do to get their passport stamped in their travel business? That's what I would do. If I was on the sales side of that, I would create a sales story around, hey, listen, who's gotten their passport stamped? Who's got 2 stamps in their passport? So I digress.
Back, Sean, to what you mentioned about shame and about the backpack. It's interesting what Silke said, but I think she couldn't understand it because she didn't come from that background where your parents couldn't afford it, and it's just like, this is how you feel when you don't have that backpack. Because again, I've been in that situation, and I still I took it with me to adulthood, and I still feel it today. But I guess your culture and your background makes you understand it more or less.
I can remember it was senior year. We were doing basketball practice down at Glen Oak. And we were on Christmas break, and we were coming back for practice before we went back to school. And I had asked my mom, I said, I wanted the, I think they were Nike, where in the tongue, they had the little basketball that you would pump up, and it would pump up the tongue to tighten it around your foot. Everybody had the pump up shoes. Every guy on the team. Now, they all came from wealthy families, right? I was a farm boy in Ohio, and I got the shoes. And they were brand spanking new. So they, of course, stood out. And I was getting crap for it because those weren't the basketballs that I had. Those weren't the shoes I had before, so they stood out. So I got recognition, and I kind of got made fun of because they weren't the ones they all had, but they had the pump up. So I can feel that. That was 30 years ago. I can still see that gym. I can still feel what it feels like walking in with those shoes, because I was now almost part of the club. I wasn't completely outside of the club. But that's the story that comes to my mind.
It's for me, it's just sad to see how I passed it down to my kids. Like just recently, Samantha said, you know what it feels like to go on family vacations. We never go on family vacations. And because I won another trip last year, right? And we were supposed to go, but it wasn't available for Christmas, not for March break. And so we found to combine it with family day. And at one point it wasn't even sure, because the trip was for 2 people. It wasn't even sure that Samantha and Paul could come. And she was so disappointed. In the end, it worked out, so we're all going. But it stabbed me in the heart when she said, "Ah, we never do this. I don't know how this feels." I was just like,
And so you are blessed and cursed with Samantha,
mm,
right? She will tell you exactly. She doesn't mean it as much as you might take it. She's just stating a fact that I don't understand this. I don't understand what the family vacation. She didn't say, "Oh, you're such mommy and daddy are such losers." That shame, didn't she trigger a little shame? And she's not a shame arsonist. She's not a shame sniper. Yet her words can sometimes trigger that immediately. So good news is you have somebody in-house. You have your own in-house counsel sniper. And then you also have the contrary to that in Patrick. Everything's gonna be fine. We'll all be good. I love you. I love it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so understand this. When we make a decision, the bigger picture, who would, let me ask you this, Christina, something for you to mull over. Who would Christina Zaharia become when Samantha now has the phrase, "Oh my gosh, we're going on another family vacation? Isn't this enough?" I mean, we already went on 4 now, because again, Samantha has her programming, and there's always a point to where she's going to look at when you start to bump up against the extreme, right? Taking 4 family vacations. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. I got to pack up. I was there, right? So she'll come up with something. Wouldn't that be a much better phrase? Wouldn't that be a much better conversation for her to say, "We're going on another one"? And you kind of giggle. So who would you become when that becomes the normal? This is the frequency. This is the DMP. This isn't about you becoming more. This isn't about you having to work harder. This isn't about you doing all of this stuff. What if you created the vibration that's bigger than the moment that creates the moments you want? Love it. Yay. Anyone else? Thoughts, comments, takeaways, take with yous before we wrap her up for today? Okay. I am your head brain training passport stamping misfit. I'll see y'all where?
next event.
At the next event, at the next gate. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us all.
And the queen of helping you get more stamps in your passport, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Lee.
We love you, girl. All right, everybody. Oh, and a little white fluffy.
Gurgly,
Gurgly,
gurgly.
gurgly, gurgly.
All right, everybody, go have some fun today. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sean. I love you all. Have a great day.
Bye now.